think it would be fair to assume that 90% of all adults miss certain aspects of their childhood. From those carefree summers playing outside with friends to those incredible feelings of love that most of us received from our parents, in hindsight, it was a pretty blissful time. And while adult footy pajamas won't necessarily take us all the way back to our early youth, they're certainly a fun piece of nostalgia that are also kind of comfy. In all fairness, the modern era is not the only time when adult footy pajamas have been considered fun and fashionable. The 70s also saw their fair share of fully grown men and women meandering about in these little throwbacks. But they happen to be every bit as, if not a little more popular today, and thanks to the internet, they are far more accessible than they were back in the undisputed champion of Funkadelic decades. There are a number of reasons for the resurgence of these jammies with feet, and we already mentioned one of them, nostalgia. Can you imagine a fully grown man or woman with a good job, children, and bills to pay running full speed across the kitchen floor, stopping on a dime, and sliding a good 4 or 5 feet on their pajama socks? Get yourself a set of adult footy pajamas, and you may not have to just imagine it. Of course, reliving our childhoods one good night at a time is not the only motivating factor behind so many of us pulling out our credit cards and buying one or more sets of these foothold challenged PJs for ourselves. In fact, it may not even be the leading reason. That could very well be reserved for the sheer novelty factor. I mean, this isn't your average nighttime sleepwear. Not everybody has adult footy pajamas. In a way, owning a set makes you somewhat of an original. It's just kind of fun and quirky to walk around in this relatively unusual get-up. On a side note, let it be known that today's manufacturers have actually made these things quite fashionable, and you can purchase them in a number of styles, colors, patterns, and fabrics. These definitely are not your disco daddy's footed pajamas. In fact, they could be considered quite luxurious, if you really wanted to take it that far. They do come in silk, after all. And while we're on the topic of fabrics, let me share a few additional materials I have seen adult footy pajamas come in. Wool, jersey knit, cotton, flannel, and especially fleece are all options you can consider when it comes to making your purchase. They be found at many department stores, though personally I would just get them online, as you are faced with far more wonderful and plentiful choices in a much shorter period of time.